me, Double D, while I'm whispering, Aaron and staff man, they aren't here. I'm about to do something that will probably alienate most of our listeners. All 9 of you. I'm going to talk about sports. Shh. Keep it down. According to Vegas and DraftKings, Bengals plus 170, Rams minus 200. Who you got? And a first after school special podcast bet, I'm putting too large on the Bengals. And Joe Burrow's Dennis the Menace Psycho face to win me. Wait, let me check. Oh! That comes out to $5.50 if I win. Hell yeah. $5.50. I love it. Oh yeah, I only bet $2. By the way, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals have no business being in this Super Bowl, in my opinion. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I don't mean they don't have any talent on offense, but they're probably 5 years ahead of schedule. And I can only attribute that due to Joe Burrow's arrival to the Cincinnati's franchise. He has elevated this franchise even though he has no offensive line. And I don't think I've ever seen a team reach the Super Bowl without having a decent offensive line. Even the great Patrick Mahomes last Super Bowl failed to compete with Tampa Bay, led by Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, because 2 of his most important offensive linemen got injured before the Super Bowl. But alongside a rookie wide receiver in Jamar Chase, a star, which I think is probably the best rookie wide receiver I've ever seen. And that's saying something because Randy Moss was amazing. I think he was drafted in 1997. And the Lions, my Lions, had a chance to get him, but we drafted Terry Fair instead. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. I think Cincinnati, they have a shot. And I always bet on the underdog. But don't listen to me because I always lose these bets. Plus, to be honest with you, I don't want Matthew Stafford to win a Super Bowl. Not right after he leaves Detroit. And no, I'm not one of these Detroiters who thinks that if he wins the Super Bowl, that, somehow we share in the moment. Hell no. For anybody who's listening right now, if you ever broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, if he or she were to marry a famous person right after they broke up with you and got incredibly rich, and on top of that shit, let's say that this ex was a nice person, but never gave you feedback on how to improve the relationship, wasn't in particularly in good physical shape. And then right after they leave you, they get inspired to not only get in shape, but to improve themselves mentally. And let me ask you something. If they asked you to go to their wedding, would you go? For most of you, the answer is easy. Even if the breakup was mutual, the answer is hell to the no. You would be thinking, why didn't this lousy son of a bitch do all these wonderful things when they were with you? But to Matthew Stafford's credit, he's never talked bad about Detroit, about the city, or the franchise. But man, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I can't root for the man because he's not doing it for my team. And yes, Detroit is a terrible franchise. Full stop. However, the Cincinnati Bengals is a franchise that's not much better than Detroit's. Matthew Stafford is a very good player. He's always been a very good player. But it's clear, y'all, he's not Joe Burrow. He's not Tom Brady. He can't lift a subpar teammate or teammates into greatness. There. I said it. If he wins Super Bowl, good for him, but I'm not going to sit there and act like because I'm from Detroit and I root for the Detroit Lions, even though they suck ass, that somehow if he wins the Super Bowl, that means we win a Super Bowl too. That's fucking ridiculous. If anything, the Lions franchise should be ashamed of themselves. And I think any Detroit Lions fan who roots for Matt Stafford to win a damn Super Bowl, they're fucking losers. I know that's not a popular take, but it's the truth. But I think we can all acknowledge that Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback, but not great enough to lift the franchise by himself. He needed to go to a ready-made team. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I'm getting fired up. Are you still with me? Is anybody still listening? You know, I want to talk about the sports before the guys get here, because this has been burning my ass for the last 3 weeks. And also, I have other prop bets that, you guys probably don't care to hear about. But before I reveal my prop bets for the Super Bowl, since this year's Super Bowl halftime show has a 90s nostalgia feel to it, I don't know if you guys know, but it features huge 90s acts: Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. And although it kind of feels weird that Ice Cube isn't included in this, since he's a Los Angeles native and one of those people who propelled gangster rap in the 90s, being in the supergroup NWA, I want to include a prop bet that maybe he just appears out of nowhere. And my prop bet is that he not only appears, Ice Cube is going to wear the famous khaki pants, or the Dockers from the 90s, and he's going to wear his famous Jerry curl. Wouldn't that be great? How nostalgic is that? But right now, in honor of all this whole 90s nostalgia surrounding the Super Bowl, I want to present a quiz that you guys listening to the podcast can participate in. And it's not because I'm trying to fill in time because the guys aren't here yet. Not at all. I found this quiz online that I have not taken before. So if you're listening, you can play along with me. So the game is simple. All we have to do, is name the song that matches the lyrics. I got this quiz from the website called howstuffworks.com. So if you want to pause here and go to that website, you can do that right now. But the first question, I'm gearing up, I'm getting ready. Hold on, let me drink some of my Gatorade. By the way, it's 10 a.m. here in Michigan. And I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with myself for having all this energy in the morning, because usually I'm not a morning person. But anyway, first question. You remember, the song, all we have to do is name the song that matches the lyrics. So until the guys come here, Aaron, Staffman, till they join the show, we're going to do this quiz. And maybe I get to sneak in some more sports takes, because I think I know sports. I'm a guy that sits on my couch and judges athletic ability. I can do that. I played some sports in high school. Anyway, first song. The lyrics is as follows. Name this song. And I'm going to do it in the talk host voice. So name that song. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Name that song. So our choices, for the ones listening and didn't bother to go to the website, I don't blame you. Our choices for those lyrics are Shadow of Death. That's one title. Gangster's Paradise. And the last option we have is Not That Kind of G. Not That Kind of G. So once again, the lyrics are, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. So Shadow of Death is the song. Gangster's Paradise is a song, Not That Kind of G. I already know what this is. This is pretty damn easy. It's got to be Gangster's Paradise. Boom. Boom. Of course it's Gangster's Paradise. Who doesn't know that? It's one of Coolio's most famous songs. It was released in 1995. Hell yeah, I remember that shit. Coolio was pretty damn big in 1995 and underrated MC. And that was from the soundtrack Dangerous Minds, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh man, I used to have a huge crush on Michelle Pfeiffer, especially after Batman Returns. I mean, I couldn't get a boner back then because I was a little kid, but it's just like anything with attraction. You know when you know, man. You know when you know. Okay, first prop bet. Over under how many times Matthew Stafford shouts out Detroit if he wins the Super Bowl. I'm going to say if he wins the Super Bowl, as much as I just talk shit about the man, which really I didn't. I like Matthew Stafford as a person and as a professional athlete. But anyway, getting to the point. I think if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll shout out Detroit at least twice. What about you guys? What do you think? Because throughout this whole playoff run, the media, the sports media, has torn apart the Lions franchise. Oh, he couldn't win in Detroit. Thank God he got to Detroit. He got out of Detroit. Oh, it was their fault he couldn't win. Okay. I still don't entirely believe that, but I think because Matthew Stafford has a lot of class. If they win, I think he'll shout out Detroit at least twice. But anyway, next question. The lyrics are, he's a mighty, mighty good man. What song is this? What a Man? That's one option. Girls Night? That's one option. Or is the song called Mighty, Mighty Good Man? Now, this quiz kind of sucks. It's kind of easy. I'm going to say Mighty, Mighty Good Man by Salt and Pepper. Oh, shit, I'm wrong. God damn it. Oh, I got a little too cocky. This upbeat lyric comes from What a Man, Salt and Pepper's hit album. Okay, I was almost right. So the album that this song is from is called What a Man. Oh, wait. No, did I get that wrong? Oh, shit. No. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Jesus. It's not called What a Man. It's called Very Necessary. And it was released in 1993. Oh, jeez. See, this is what happens when you don't have co-hosts to help you out. But they're on their way. They're just running a little late. It's okay. I wonder how many guys or girls or women or men or they or them got this right. Whoever's listening. Maybe no one's listening. I don't know. It's weird. So today's February 11th. Yesterday, it was reported that Snoop Dogg, that same Snoop Dogg, the rapper mogul from the 90s, acquired Death Row, the same record label that he helped started with Dr. Dre and Suge Knight. He acquired it from MNRK Music Group, which is controlled by a private equity fund managed by Blackstone, which this is crazy. The investment firm announced Wednesday that the terms of the deal was not disclosed. And when I heard the news, it was like, it's kind of, I think Snoop has always, not always, but I think he owned his own label in the 90s. And I think that was Dog Pound Records. I think that was like his own pseudo record label, if I'm not mistaken, but I probably am. But it's just kind of cool how things come full circle, because back in the 90s, Death Row was the label. I know, alongside with Bad Boy Records, Puff Daddy, Biggie Smalls, later in the 90s. But back in 92, 93, when Dr. Dre left, and I know a lot of you guys already know the story and whatever, but along with that, like, Death Row was the shit, man. And back in 1995, when I was, I was 11? But before 95, it was, 93, when Doggy Style came out. Let me look this up. This is so unprofessional. I don't care. I want to get this right. So, as I'm looking this up, I was about to allude to 1995. Oh my God. For those of you who probably do the same things that I do, which is I am not a good fucking Google searcher. I just put in Doggy Style thinking I'm going to get the fucking album Snoop Dogg released in the 90s. Of course, I get fucking porn videos. God damn it. And why did it pull up the saved ones that I've saved? No, I'm kidding. 1990. Okay, Doggy Style came out in 93. Back in 93, I was 9. And I can remember distinctly when that album came out in 1993. Oh my God, it was everywhere. It was in the neighborhood, specifically in my neighborhood, even though this was a West Coast label, West Coast rappers. It invaded Detroit. It invaded America like the crack epidemic. It was everywhere. I couldn't go to anybody's house in my neighborhood without hearing at least one song from that album. So the fact that Snoop Dogg, after all the turbulent times in the 90s of being caught up in a murder case that he beat, being caught up in the whole Tupac drama, Dr. Dre drama, the Suge Knight drama, of leaving Death Row, joining Master P and No Limit Records, to have it come full circle in him acquiring basically the birthplace of where it all started for him is amazing. But anyway, next question. The lyrics are jump around, jump up, and get down. So the song title is Get Down. Is it jump up or is it jump around? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really I'm gonna say Jump Around by Cypress Hill, right? Right? Hell yeah. Woo! And I was completely wrong on the people who actually made this song. But whatever. There was a lot of jumping around in the 90s thanks to House of Pain. Their self-named album came out in 1992. 92 was a good year, man. That year, what? Shit. Fucking, I was watching Power Rangers and shit. I was still a kid, not a care in the motherfucking world. But back to Death Row, though. 1995, Tupac signs with Death Row. Signs a contract in prison. And which is now an infamous story of him going to Death Row and pretty much waging war on the East Coast. And 1995, puberty for me just started to hit. I was starting to get more into aggressive music. I think I was 11 going on 12. It was one, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to do math. It's early in the morning. So I was starting to get into more aggressive music. A year prior, interesting enough, my brother came home during my graduation. He brought home, my brother used to do this shit all the time because he didn't live with us. He would live with his dad. We both had different dads. But when he would come back, he would always bring back a treasure trove of music that was popular at the time. And usually it was rap. Usually 9 out of 10 times it was rap. And back in 94, he brought home Old Dirty Bastard's first album, Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, which came out in 93. And he brought home Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G. So technically, I was into Biggie Smalls and the East Coast stuff before I ever really got into Tupac. And when I first heard Juicy, the song Juicy, when I first heard just that whole album, it was unlike anything I've ever heard. It was like hearing a movie on a CD. And by the way, that was the first time I ever played any music on a CD player. That was the first time I even saw a CD player. He had this compact Sony CD player with the headphones, and I was literally, when he would go to sleep at night when he visited us in Detroit, and I would confiscate, I would steal his CD player and just listen to that album all night until I fell asleep. I remember that shit. And if it wasn't for him, I hate giving him credit because he loves patting himself on the back. But if it wasn't for him, man, a lot of the music that I'm into, I would have never discovered at that age. But I forgot what the fuck I was leading into. I think I was talking about Tupac. But anyway, let's go to the next question. All right. So I got that last question right, but I got the artist wrong. But fuck it. That still counts. I got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Next lyrics. Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on a blimp. Is this song called Can't No PhD? What the fuck? Okay, that's a weird answer. Is this song called Mo Money, Mo Problems? Is the song called Who's Hot, Who's Not? Okay, we all know it's Mo Money, Mo Problems. Yeah. Correct answer. This famous lyric comes from Mo Money, Mo Problems by the Notorious B.I.G. The song also features Puff Daddy and Mace. Hey, pat yourself on the back if you got all these questions right, which I did not so far. But that's okay. That's okay. We're chugging along. But back to my 90s nostalgia run. So back in 1995, like I said, 94, brother came home with all this East Coast rap. Wu-Tang, Notorious B.I.G. I think he even had Nas back then. He's definitely into Nas, and I got into Nas subsequently. But 1995, Tupac joins Death Row. And for kids or anybody younger than me listening to this, it's like today's equivalent of LeBron James going from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Miami Heat. Because that's how huge Tupac was in the early 90s. Because he not only made decent, good albums. I mean, in 1995, he had a #1 album. It was Me Against the World, which, to be honest, and I'm a huge Tupac fan, and I'm leading into that. That's where I kind of fell in love with Tupac, was that album. But Tupac, unlike a lot of these artists, he didn't really, he belonged to Interscope Records, but he didn't have a team backing him like Snoop Dogg with Death Row, because Snoop Dogg had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg had the Dog Pound with Corrupt and Daz Dillinger and a whole roster of talent. And Tupac, even though he had his own group called Thug Life, they weren't very well known. They were like the Cleveland Cavaliers of the early 2000s. So I'm sure a lot of people know the story. He went to prison over an alleged rape charge. Well, he served time. And basically, he was going to serve, I don't remember the exact amount of time, but he was going to be there for a minute, at least from what I remember, for at least 10 years. And what always bothered me, I know eventually Suge Knight posted a $1 million bail, but I'm just surprised that nobody on Interscope had the balls to do that before Suge Knight. Basically this guy, I don't know. This is before all the Me Too movements. This is all before that. So, and Tupac, even then, even with the whole alleged or whatever side you fall on, whether you think he did it or he did do it, he was a huge name. He already made a wildly popular movie directed by Ernest Dickinson called Juice, where he played Bishop, one of the best movie villains of all time. But in 1995, him going to, like I said, Death Row Records. And by the way, Snoop Dogg, who I mentioned earlier, who's going to perform, as you know, in this Super Bowl at the halftime show with Dr. Dre, he recruited him. He basically, in interviews that I've seen, told Suge Knight, hey, man, we got to get this guy. This guy is basically a superstar, but he don't have a team. And Snoop Dogg in the interview said, if we get him to death row, he's going to maximize everything that we do. You think we're big now. Shit, man, we're going to be even bigger than, we're going to be basically, I'm trying to put it in context. Like for rock and roll, who would that be in comparisons to? But anyway, let's get back to the quiz. We'll get back to that. So, the next lyrics. Who you trying to mess with? S.A. Don't you know I'm loco? Okay. Okay, I might not know this one. Who you trying to mess with? S.A. Don't you know I'm loco? Okay. Let's see. Okay, is the title of this song called I'm Loco? Is the title called Don't Mess With Me? Is the title called Insane in the Membrane? Oh, yeah. Insane in the Brain. I'm picking that. Insane in the Brain. That's Cypress Hill, right? Yeah, fuck yeah. Woo! Hell yeah. Who can forget Cypress Hill and Insane in the Brain? Black Sunday was released in 1993. Woo, man, the 90s. I'm telling you. Next question. My. Music makes me so hard. Makes me say, oh my Lord. Thank you for the blessing me. Oh, wait. Let me start this over. Hold on. I got to clear my throat. Isn't that obnoxious? Anyway. The lyrics are, my, music makes me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a mind to rhyme and 2 hype feet. What the fuck? Oh, I know what this is. So, these lyrics are the title to what song? 2 hype feet, You Can't Touch This, or is it Say, Oh My Lord? That is the last option of the song title. Of course, it's none other than Oakland's finest, MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This. Boom, baby. Correct answer. The 90s, for the early 90s, of course, was dominated by MC Hammer. Say what you want about the guy, but this song was off the Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him album, which was released in 1990. I think that album went diamond, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, by the way, over under 3 out of the main performers of this year's Super Bowl halftime. Over under. This is a prop bet for the gamblers out there. Over under 3 of the main performers all wear the color black. I'm going to say over. Definitely Snoop Dogg. Definitely, I'm going to say Dr. Dre is going to wear black. Mary J. And I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar because he's there too. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to put at least a couple of bucks on that. Over under. Another prop bet. Over under. And this is important, ladies and gentlemen. Are you listening? Over under. I drink 4 glasses of booze before halftime. I'm going to say over. I mean, I know it's an upset. I know you can't believe it. But definitely, I plan on getting fucked up. Responsibly. Anyway, next lyrics. With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D or Double G. God, come on, man. Jeez Louise, these lyrics are kind of giving it away. Oh, man, this quiz sucks. Okay, let's just get to it. Is the song called Snoop? Is the song called Gin and Juice? Is the song called Rollin' in the LBC? Of course, the song is called Gin and Juice. Duh. Gin and Juice is synonymous with the 90s, the site says. We all have our minds on our money and our money on our minds. That was not clever. Okay, next. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my peers, putting suckers in fear. Is the song called Mama Said Knock You Out? Is the song called Putting Suckers in Fear? Is the song called I'm Gonna Knock You Out? The answer, I'm gonna say Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. Hell yeah. And I would be right, ladies and gentlemen. This was LL Cool J's standout hit, Mama Said Knock You Out, The album had the same name. And it was released in 1990. Wow. I don't know why. I thought that album came out a little later, like in 92. And I think that specific song was it was like a rap battle between LL Cool J and, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but Cool Mo D, I believe. Him and Cool Mo D had like some kind of rap beef, and I think that was LL Cool J's response. But I don't know, man. I love rap. I'll never not love rap, even though I don't exactly relate to a lot of the new artists, but I have an open mind. But for as long as I can remember, rap battles have been key to hip hop. However, I don't like it when it goes over the line and it ends up costing people their lives, as I was alluding to with the whole Tupac thing. Now, don't get me wrong, Tupac dying, Notorious B.I.G. dying had nothing to do with hip hop. However, I don't think it helped that things were stirred up during the times of their death. I think that had a little bit of background noise and created this whole destruction around the two of them. Because can you believe, like, wait a minute, Tupac died when he was 25. And if I'm not mistaken, Tupac, I think by the time of his death, he released 4 studio albums. 4. And probably, as a fan of Tupac, I would say 2 of those albums were classics. Now, the 2 classics are All Eyes on Me and Me Against the World, which cemented him within hip-hop history. Like, if this was like NFL, he would have a Hall of Fame jacket. I don't know if he would be, you know what? He would be first ballot Hall of Fame. And you know what? That's a good topic. Let's get back to the test and we'll talk more about that. I don't know if you guys agree with that. If you're like a huge Tupac fan like me and you're thinking about it subjectively, Tupac really only had 2, I mean, not that's a bad thing, but he had 2 great albums. And I would say Notorious B.I.G. had 2 great albums too. But in the course of their life, you know, just to think if they would have lived, what would have happened. But I digress. Next lyrics. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? Oh, come on. These are fucking easy. Okay, is this song called Girl? Is this song called Won't You Back That Ass Up? Is the song called Back That Thing Up? Or is the song called Flying? Of course, the song is called Back That Thing Up by Juvenile. The album was called 400 Degrees. It came out in 1998. I gotta say, man, when that album came out, back then, I was like, right after Tupac died, I kind of snapped back into East Coast rap, because when Tupac was alive, I was like, yo, I'm all West Coast rap. Fuck East Coast. I was a little kid. I was an immature fanboy. Whatever Tupac said goes. It's like, oh, you don't like Biggie? Well, I don't like him either. You don't like Jay-Z? I don't like him either. You don't like Nas? I don't like him either. But when he died, and like I said, or I've said in other episodes, when Tupac died, it's like the equivalent of, okay, picture this. Kobe Bryant died 2 years ago, right? Which was sad. Is sad. Still to this day. Huge Kobe Bryant fan. I know people listening to this, you know, they want to bring up allegations and all that. Even Snoop, the other day, when it was announced that he acquired Death Row, some allegations came up about him, and I don't want to even get into that. However, my point is, when Tupac died, when I was 12 or 13 years old, I idolized this man. I don't do a lot of idolizing. But when he died, it was like the equivalent of Kobe Bryant, instead of dying after he retired, picture Kobe Bryant dying right after he won the first 3 championships with Shaq. As devastating as Kobe Bryant's death was, just think about how more devastating if his prime was cut short because of some unforeseen, horrible scenario. Now, when Tupac died, it's not exactly the same, because the Kobe thing was like a freak accident. And if you follow Tupac, I don't think everybody was shocked that he died. was stunned that he died. I mean, the news of him getting shot, nobody was surprised. But still, I just want to give people that listen to this podcast a little bit of context. Like, man, it was really like, the music wasn't the same for at least, what he died in, 96? I'll say at least for 2 years. Especially after the Notorious B.I.G. died in 1997. But moving on, I'm depressing everybody. This is supposed to be a fun podcast. But that's what you get. Oh, shit, wait. Uh-oh, I think the guys are showing up. Nope, that's not them. Anyway, back to the lyrics. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. The lyrics are, ha! Sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage off instinct. Oh, boy. That sounded terrible. Okay, so those lyrics are to the song Twistin'? Or is it to the song Brooklyn Thug? Or is it to the song Hypnotize? Oh, come on. And the winner is Hypnotize. B.I.G. I was just talking about this guy. The lyric is from the song Hypnotize by the Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death that came out. What? Life After Death didn't come out in 1996. I thought it came out in 97. I remember it being in 97. Who fucking cares? Next question. Are you guys still with me? Are you still awake? Probably not. Okay, next lyrics. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G is on the streets trying to consume. Okay, that was terrible. You know, I really wish the other guys were here because they probably would do this a little bit better than I would. But let's try this again. I got to get ramped up for it. Okay, the lyrics are, it was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G is on the streets trying to consume. Okay, guess this song title. Is it called Clear White Moon? Is it called Warren G? Is it called Regulate? This, for any 90s fan, this is easy, man. This whole fucking test sucks. But, like I said, we are filling in time. I mean, we are having a good time here. And, of course, the right answer is Regulate by Warren G, which was my shit. And the site says correct answer. Perhaps one of the most memorable hip-hop songs from the 90s, Regulate, was Warren G's. And Warren G's song that featured Nate Dogg. It was featured on the Above the Rim soundtrack and was released in 1994. And of course, that film featured Tupac. And that's the thing, man. Tupac wasn't just a hip-hop artist or a hip-hop star. He was a movie star, man. Like, he was... He was like Axl Rose and fucking Jimi Hendrix, like, mixed into one guy. I mean, before him, there weren't a lot of rappers wearing tattoos and, you know, had a bald head. It just, he was like fucking Public Enemy and Ice Cube mixed in like one guy. And I forgot who made that analogy, but it was a good analogy. Like, yeah, man. Anyway, let me get off that. The next lyrics are I'm back. The next lyrics. Rev me up, my little buttercup. We can tug sheets, snuggle up and get stuck. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. What the fuck? What the hell is this song? Is the song called Rev Me Up? Is the song called Little Buttercup? Is the song called Now That We Found Love? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, Rev Me Up. Because this quiz is pretty easy, so let's see. Fuck! Of course I'm wrong. It's called Now That We Found Love. It's a lyric from Now That We Found Love by, Heavy D. Rest in peace, Heavy D. Heavy D and the Boys. This sassy and sincere song was released in 1991. Man, I used to love Heavy D. Heavy D and Kid and Play. Like, those were songs that as a kid I could listen to that my mom didn't care I listened to because it wasn't a whole lot of cussing. And they were like party songs, man. That's when hip hop was just fun. Before like the drugs and the money really influenced what rappers said. But I digress. Next lyrics. Stop. Drop, Shut them down, open up shop. Sorry, I had to do that. Okay, so is this song called DMX Bliss? Is it called Rough Riders Anthem? Is it called Open Up Shop? Now, if you don't get this shit right, you're not a real 90s fan. Of course, this shit is called Open Up Shop. No, I'm kidding. It's called Rough Riders Anthem by DMX back in 1998. And you know what? Funny story. That's not really a funny story. When DMX came out back in 98, this was like 2 years after Tupac. And as a kid, I still wasn't ready to let go that Tupac was really gone. So when this guy came out with this deep ass voice, well, not really deep, but just guy from New York, bald head, barking at everybody, I wanted to hate him at first. I did. And once again, my brother came home to visit us in Detroit. He brought home the first DMX album, and it blew me away, man. I thought, that's the thing, because it was a lot of, after Tupac died, it was a lot of fucking Tupac copycats, a la Little Zane. Look his ass up. Seemed like a nice guy, but they kind of stole like some of his cadences of how he rapped, like Tupac. And you still kind of hear it even in today's rap, how they kind of sing-song their choruses. And I'm not saying today's rappers didn't improve on that. I'm just saying it was 2 years after his death, and I just did not want to accept another black man, bald black man, I guess. And DMX was special. He was totally different from Tupac. And anyway, I digress. Next lyrics. Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but something today seems kind of odd. Is the song title Today Seems Odd? Is the song title It Was a Good Day? Is the song title Mama Cooked the Breakfast? The answer is, I'm going to say It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. And of course, I'm right because I know my shit, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you guys are doing right now. I don't even know who's fucking listening. Still waiting on the guys. And they're not here yet. So far, let's recap. You got to hear my stupid sports opinions. You got to hear my 90s hip-hop takes. And now you get to hear me fumble over my words and talk about this whack-ass quiz. But that's okay, right? You're probably at work right now. Got nothing better to do. Especially if you're in Michigan. I know you're not outside. It's cold as hell. It's snowing right now. But anyway, getting back to the quiz. The song is called It Was a Good Day. Was Ice Cube's hit from the 90s. What the fuck? This site is saying no barking from the dogs, no smog, and mama cooked the breakfast. Oh, this is the lyrics. Okay. Jeez, I'm slow. So fucking slow. So slow. Next question. Oh, this is a good one. Time to sit back and unwind. No, for real. That's the lyrics. Time to sit back and unwind. Is title Summertime? Is the title Hanging with My Fools? Is the title It All Starts Here? This fucking title is Summertime by Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. This quiz sucks. You know what? I'm going to call an audible. Just like in football, when the quarterback goes to the line of scrimmage and doesn't like to play. This fucking tight. This quiz sucks. So let's just right now count how many I got right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 13 out of 15 right, which is still pretty damn good. Still fucking pretty good. I mean, the stuff that I got wrong, like the Heavy D song, that kind of stings. I used to really like Heavy D. And the Mighty Mighty Goat Man shit. That threw me off. I didn't know it was called What a Man. I really thought it was called Mighty Mighty Good Man. But if you guys did better than me, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Fucking good. So how'd you guys do on the quiz? I guess the guys aren't going to show up, but I don't know. I think that was a good episode. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, fuck. Before I go, there's another fucking thing I saw. Fucking Tinder got this new fucking thing. It's an edition on the app called the Blind Date Edition. Have you guys heard of that shit? It says, according to a website, it says the feature The users will be paired based on what they have in common. Answer prompts, and they will play games. If both users decide to match, they will be able to finally see each other. So instead of swiping left and swiping right, you can choose to, I guess, do this blind date feature. And that shit is pretty funny. I think if I was single still, I still wouldn't get any pussy. Let me tell you, I have a lot of fucking personality, but it only works in person. It doesn't work for like the written word, because I was on those fucking sites before and my personality did not translate. I mean, I would try to use humor. I would try to like assure them that I'm not a creep, but yeah, man, I am much better in person. Not to say that I look better in person. Just I don't know. My personality translates more so in person. So yeah, I don't know how this blind date shit is going to work, because let me say, what if you just look god awful and you match perfectly with some beautiful woman and they finally get to see you? What they gonna say? Like, oh, well, we do like the same kind of food, and he likes bananas and I like bananas. Like, no, they're not gonna go on a date with you. Like, so I don't really see how much of an improvement this is gonna be. However, I think as a person who likes to make jokes out of every goddamn thing, I think I would instinctively change my fucking, like, my profile picture to something that didn't even look like me. Like, I will fucking find like the grossest looking fucking ugliest man I could find, and I will put that as my profile picture, and I would try to test that shit out to see if it works. But that's just me. I think you can find something unique about somebody to feel attraction towards. However, this is the real world. So, and speaking of fucking sex, did you guys read this shit? Steven Soderbergh, the director of Magic Mike and Ocean's 11, this motherfucker said that he could never direct a superhero movie due to the complete departure from reality, especially when it comes to a lack of adult sex relationships on screen. So he's trying to say this motherfucker can't get into the whole superhero movie shit because they don't have enough sex. Like, dude, if you want to see sex, just go on Pornhub. I don't need that in my motherfucking Marvel movies. Like, honestly, and I know I'm a weirdo for this, but when I watch movies, unless it's a rom-com or fucking something dramatic, I don't really want to see the sex. That's not real life to me. I don't give a shit. Not everything fucking revolves around sex. I want strong visuals. I want a strong story. Fucking Stoltenberg. What is his fucking name? Stoltenberg. And then he goes on to say, for me to understand the world and how to write or supervise the writing of the story and the characters, apart from the fact that I can bend time and defy gravity and shoot beams out of my fingers, there's no fucking, end quote. That's what the motherfucker says. Like, he says, like, I don't know how to tell people how to behave in a world in which that is not a thing. He does realize this isn't real life, motherfucker. If people are flying in the air and shooting fucking laser beams out their eyes, and basically the story is revolving around superheroes trying to save the earth from some kind of alien being, you think they got fucking time to be sucking dicks and, I don't know, fucking bitches in the assholes or whatever they do? They don't have time for that. Soderbergh. But I gotta tell you, that new Jurassic Park fucking trailer, whoa! Holy crap, I saw that fucking today. My man Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Laura Dern, the original cast is back, returning to the fucking franchise together. Oh man, holy shit. It's fucking dream come true. Like, the fucking 10-year-old in me is like jumping up and down. It looks fucking amazing. And I'm not very hard to please when it comes to this whole nostalgia trip. I mean, as long as you like hit certain points in my fandom, I'm good. But I gotta say, it's kind of weird seeing the Raptors, at least in the preview, if you haven't seen it, like the fucking T-Rex or the Raptors, they tear through like cities like Rome or Paris or some shit. And it looks like they're gonna balance like the movie with like urban settings and Jurassic Park settings to kind of please both the fans, the old fans and the new fans, which could be cool. But I just hope they opt for a strong story. And it appears that they're going to end the franchise with this movie, which I don't fucking believe, man. If the money's good, they're going to do some kind of prequel or some bullshit. You already know it. But however, seeing all these fucking movies these actors from the 90s back together, it really did give me goosebumps, especially seeing Sam Neill. I think he was in Jurassic Park 3 or 4. So they all kind of been in the movies after the first one. It's just they haven't been in the movies together. Especially Laura Dern. I think this is her first time being back. So I don't know, man. I'm fucking excited. But don't you hate when people, it brings me back to the 90s. Like a lot of great movies from the 90s got ruined for me. And after seeing this preview, because if you look at the preview for the new Jurassic Park, it kind of shows a lot, man. So it just got me to thinking, like, the movies that have been ruined for me, either because somebody fucking like let out what's going to happen at the end, or like the previews kind of ended, or it showed too much. And I started to think, what's my top 5 movies from the 90s that got ruined for me? And lucky for you, I have a top 5. So the first one, the movie 7, starring Brad Pitt and, of course, Morgan Freeman. That shit got ruined for me. The Sixth Sense, 1999, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. That got ruined for me. I remember being in the theater, like, at the very end, right before the pivotal scene with Bruce Willis. Some girl that I was friends with in the theater shouted out what was about to happen. I was so fucking mad. 1995, Usual Suspects with the director Bryan Singer. That movie got ruined for me at the very end. Kaiser Soze, we all know what happens. 12 Monkeys, another 1995 movie. Director Terry Gilliam. That got ruined for me. Another movie starring Bruce Willis. Sling Blade, starring Billy Bob Thornton. Directed by Billy Bob Thornton, 1996. That movie got ruined for me. And 1998, Primal Fear, starring Ed Norton and Richard Gere. That movie got ruined for me. None of these movies, outside of, I think, Sixth Sense, I think I didn't see in the theater, but I remember seeing Sixth Sense in the theater for sure. Primal Fear, I was in a classroom in high school, and right at the end, somebody blurted out what happened. I'm like, oh my God. It was such a great movie till somebody did that. Why do people do that? Can't keep their fucking mouth shut, man. God, America's is just full of loudmouth snitches. They are. They just loudmouth snitches. Anyway, I don't know how entertaining this fucking podcast was. The guys, I think they're still on their way, but fuck that. I'm done. But not sure if this was actually an interesting episode or not, but if you want to listen to interesting episodes that we did in the past, you can listen to our episodes on any of the various platforms we have online, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. To our loyal fans, keep spreading the word about the podcast. Write us. Please don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast. If you're just listening for the first time, it really goes a long way. And, fuck it, man. Comment on the ridiculous things that we say, I say. We definitely, we upped our content game and our output on the social media accounts such as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you would like to engage us on there, don't be shy. We want to get back to, having fun on social media. So until next time, this is Double D signing off. Woo! Go Bengals.
Hey guys, it's Aaron. You think you could do me a big fave? Wherever you're listening to this right now, rate and subscribe. Find new episodes where you listen to podcasts and look for us on all the social media sites and Gmail at Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Gmail, Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Instagram and Facebook, and AfterschoolSPE3 on Twitter.
Anyway, the lyrics are, my, music makes me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord. Thank you for blessing me with a mind to rhyme and 2 hype feet. What the fuck?